welcome to my video, which is so poetically being posted and recorded, or recorded and posted on this day, Good Friday, which, as we know, is a very, very powerful day because Yeshua, crucifixion, it's all about death, prayers, sorrow, all of those things. But it's walking through that grief process, which is basically crushing the illusion because nothing ever dies. But we are no doubt in that day. In a few days' time, we kind of like come over into the other side of that realm, which is resurrection. So I think it's absolutely crazy that this is the first time I've been able to come up for air because Marie has gone through the biggest death I have had in this lifetime. I'm still in it a little bit, so I'm a little bit like my flag is half-mast, and quite rightly so, because that's what happens when someone passes on. So who's passed on? Well, first of all, me, my goodness, and I have a wealth of wisdom to share with you, but I'm finding it hard to articulate a lot of it, so it's going to come out in sections. Let's put it that way. So today I've got a whole gathering of beings, but most of all, the figurehead, as always, is Mother Sekhmet, and I have a very, very powerful channel to share with you, which will lead us into this month's Temple Classroom. So the Temple Classroom is on the 24th of April, okay, which is the last Thursday of every single month. It's a very, very important classroom because this is going to be, Sekhmet's really ramping it up. And I know a lot of us are Sekhmet followers on this channel. And, well, you know that her channel is going to speak volumes. And, if you feel called, the Temple Classroom is really about showing up now, stepping out of that I'm a broken being into I am a devotee of Sekhmet. And I'm going to help you and guide you into stepping into that role because that's what she's had me do with my whole journey in my life. So first of all, this video is aptly named, Are You Ready to Die? Okay. And it's just joy codes, isn't it? But here's the kicker. I bring joy into it because at the end of the day, grief is actually joy. So if we want to bring in the Hermetic principle of polarity, knowing that there is no separation in anything, everything is one energy, right? So you look at something which is in its lowest aspect, and in my case, it's grief, okay? Grief and sadness. I've been walking that path. But if I upgrade it to its original source code, okay, it is actually joy. And it's the same as fear. You're writhing in fear. And then if you upgrade fear, like what's its highest version? What's its highest expression? It actually comes from courage. Do you see what I'm saying? So nothing is really devoid of us. It's just that the energy and the vibration slips down. So we just need to take it back up there. So I'm very much in the principle of polarity right now. And I'm going to share with you why my story is very painful. And I want to hear in the comments because this, I think, look, what I go through, there's always resonance with you guys. We're like, oh my God, me too group. So I'd be really, because I've been in the depths, man, I'd be really keen to hear from you guys and so like, hear about what you've been going through at this particular time. Now, let's just rewind a little bit because I kind of said that I was not like, must remember my words have power because I said to you guys, you know what? The biggest fear of your power is, are you willing to change the physical stuff? So go back to last year. That was the internal change and transformation from the energy within, right? So that was the transformation. So energetically, you changed everything from in here. So now out there, that's now got to match up. So now you're going to be faced with a lot of physical changes. And I sometimes think that that's harder than the internal transformation because habit is like so difficult for us because it ignites more fear, right? So you're going to be challenged, probably unwillingly, to move house, to end a relationship, to walk away from a job, to face something that you don't want to face in your physical reality. But it's because it's aligning with the absolute highest timeline that you've done within, but out there it looks pretty scary. Okay, so I know so many people that have landladies sold their place from underneath them, so they were forced to find another house, and it's been so traumatic and awful for them. But guess what, when they found their house, they're like, oh my God, this was the best thing ever. So it's that kind of vibe, but it's going through the physical changes in your life that's really hard to process. So I'm going to give you the Gospel of Marie, my story, and tell you why I've been offline for so long. So rewinding right back to the beginning, I've spoken about it. I was actually in London before. I was taking my kids. My son was already in the UK. I was taking my daughter to go and join her brother, and we were going to go. They're living in London now. So I went over to London to sort them out with all of the stuff that mom needs to sort them out with, right? While I was over there, I went to Avalon. Okay. My last broadcast, which was the temple broadcast, was actually from Bridie's Mound. And I shed a few tears because the grief that I experienced when I was in Avalon was very intense. And I was grieving the loss of my daughter, actually. And we'd had many past lives. That's why I did a video to do with past life bleed-throughs. Much pain that you're experiencing now is exacerbated because it's coming from other lifetimes, but you have to clear it here. So that's kind of what happened with me. I was in Avalon and I experienced zero magic, except I went to the Isle of the Dead. Avalon is the Isle of the Dead, and that's exactly what I went and did. My soul went to die. Okay, so it could be transformed anew and come out the other side. Being there was very, very intense. So we've got our own version of that going on right now. So you may be stuck in a bubble which is just devoid of magic, devoid of joy, stressful as fuck, and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on? And it's almost like a revisit of that energy field, which I think base camp is actually sadness and grief. I think that is which is the base level of all of this, all of the stuff we go through, right? And let's face it, so many of us, there's nobody that hasn't experienced sadness and grief. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's failed missions, whether your family you lost out your whole family, because back in the olden days, that's what used to happen. Seeing Yeshua die on a cross. I mean, we could go on and on and on, but we just need to give some space to grief and sadness. And that is not something we can fast track and not something that we can just push aside. We have to really be with that process, because this is the ultimate final line of us coming to the end of this timeline, dying, being willing to die. And that's what's happened with me. So I'm like in England thinking I've lost my kids, but it's an illusion because it's just energy transforming to move on to something else. Now, it's going to be a long one, so get comfortable. I like to bring some other wisdom into the circle. I'm going to show you something now. Hold that thought. You see this? How amazing is this? Okay, I'm going to come away from the camera so you can actually just see how magical and amazing this is. This is indeed, first of all, it's a snake head. Can you see that there? Right? And this is to do with death. And this is a massive walking stick. Look at that. Now, there's a story behind this, guys. For those that have been on my channel for quite some time, do you remember when I went through the death walk, when my beautiful oak tree, which was such a sentient being that connected me to Avalon, she just fell down. And I was heartbroken, devastated, like traumatized. Now, I rescued some wood and I gave it to a Sangorma, a man of the land. And I didn't say anything to him. I said, please, he said, the trees talk to me. I will make something for you. And I said, it needs to be at the hand of somebody from Africa and fully authentic. So I left it with him for 6 months, actually. And the day before I left to go to England with my daughter and go for that death walk to Avalon, he put this in my hands. Guess what this is? This is my tree. Okay, so I want to talk about this because this is powerful medicine, like really powerful medicine. When I saw this, it was first of all, it reminded me of the ankh, but it comes around and the head goes down here. He sent me everything to do with death and transformation at the energy of a snake. So this is basically everything always goes back to the earth, right? And then when I held this oak tree, because she just said to me, I didn't die. I just changed form. I just turned into something else. And now I'm with you forever. And I was like, oh my God, like that's really powerful and profound. And I was going through it, hey, really, really going through it, right? So there I was in England, grieving my kids, going through it. Get back to Cape Town. And I'm a Maine Coon mommy. And one of my very powerful Egyptian Maine Coons, Freya, who is one of my familiars. She's well, they're all my familiars, my animals, but she's my nearest, she's my absolute baby. Well, I came home and she died. She was bitten by a snake and she died. And I'm still processing the grief of that. So I'm trying not to cry because Sekhmet's all around. Okay, so Freya's gone, right? So I went through that process of coming up to this empty house, getting home, going, okay, well, where's my animals? She's gone. So that's, as we know, animals pass on when it's end of a cycle. Everything always goes back to the earth, right? Snake. So you've got to love the absolute, magic of it, even though it's deathly heartbreaking. Excuse the pun. So then the next day, my husband comes home and he comes in from Zimbabwe and he gets home and 2 minutes later, we get a phone call from our house in Zimbabwe. Both of our dogs have had to be put down. So three familiars of our family, because they are familiars, from my husband's side and my side, passed in 24 hours, right? And this is the medicine of this video. This is transformation. This is, I didn't realize how scared I was of death and how little I understood it, right? So the reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because the ultimate death, of which we've had millions of deaths, right? The ultimate death is now. Now, what I can tell you is these experiences, I know so many people that have gone through it, and we're going through it at different times, and it has a different language. So it's not the same thing as having a planetary alignment. We're all in Mercury retrograde and we're feeling it. No. This is different. Okay. So this is a very, very personal experience and timing as to when this is happening. So I'm like in the depths of grief right now because I feel like everything in my life has died, like everything. And now as I look around and that happens, the old version of Marie died as well. And I'm sitting here questioning, which way do I go? And what is my purpose now? And where do I move through to? And that is a traumatic thing. You can either look at it as going, oh my God, I don't know where I'm going. Or as I've just been sat in meditation with Sekhmet, or you can look at it and go childlike awe, oh my God, something has died and it's going to transform into something different, something pretty fucking cool. That's like cool. What is that going to be? So it's really working through the illusion and the lies of what actually death is, which is it's not final, is it? It's basically, it's ongoing. So that's my story, okay? That's my story, okay? So that's basically kind of like dovetails from the video I did before, that if you are going through something similar like this, it's pulling from other timelines. This grief just wasn't from this life. My darling cat Freya was like, right, we're done. And she's and this is the funny thing. I've already channeled her and felt her, and she's like, oh, thank God I got rid of that body, because she always used to get so frustrated because I used to communicate with her all the time. She's like, I've got a tiny body and I'm as powerful as a pyramid. And now she's dropped the body. She's like, oh, thank God we got that meat suit off. Now let's get to work, mama. And I mean, I'm laughing about that now because that's the truth, right? But the grieving part of the human has got to go through what they've got to go through. So the two aspects of you, human and starseed, can come together now, and that's union, right? So these are all of the things that I've been going through. And like I've spoken about the polarity of grief and joy. Look at that. We need to upgrade grief into joy, because acceptance is the gateway to joy. So all of these things that you've learned, or rather remembered, all of the teachings and everything like that, it's going to make absolute sense to you now if you're going through something, if you're going through that death, right? So your role is changing, if not changed. I've come back from England and I had no idea that this was what was going to happen. And you know what, guys? What I find quite funny is I've always got answers. I've not been able to do any videos because I will never record when I'm just for the sake of recording. It's like, I got to have something that I can actually speak out loud as my truth. And I haven't had any truth because I've been believing in this illusion that just death is death. Yeah, my heart is breaking. Yeah, I'm in absolute pain. Don't want to be in this house anymore. All the human stuff. But I know that that's just the energy field that I'm in. But on the other side of it, here we are on Good Friday. In a couple of days' time, it's going to be the resurrection codes. So there may be a lot of you feeling this kind of like death walk, as it were, during this portal of time. You can't write this shit, But anyway, I'm going to move on to Sekhmet now, because she's been holding this space like so much. And I have a very, very powerful channel that I'm actually going to share with you now. But I'm also going to put it up on a post so you can actually read through it at leisure, copy and paste it, put it wherever, because this one's significant. And before I went away to England, Sekhmet was talking about us pitching up and getting active with our embodiment of her, right? We're not going to be broken forever. At some point we need to step into the realms. And she was like, now we come together and we start getting to work, basically. So this has been around me for a long time, and now today she's come through and she's like, right, it's now time to share what I have to say. So I was like, fine. So Sekhmet's come through, and I'm just going to read you the channel, and then we can talk about what's in here afterwards. So I invite you now to take a nice, big, deep, healthy breath. Inhaling, and as you exhale, call in Mother Sekhmet. Call her into your energy field. Call her into your inner world, your outer world. Feel the presence of the Mother as she envelopes you in her love and her energy and the deepest purr and kind of growl You sense her, you hear her, you feel her, and this resonance just opens your energy field to welcome in this channel, this message that she's brought to you today. So Sekhmet speaks on this Good Friday, 18th of April 2025. It is time to die. No longer must you seek me in the depths of your pain. No longer should you seek me through your shadow and sorrow. A new role, a new you is now being called forward. I, Sekhmet, call you forward to gather round me. It takes great courage to face your fear. When I called, you came, and it was the pathway of pain, fear, and suffering that delivered you to me. One can walk the dark realms of eternity, if you wish, if you choose it, for there will always be more. Oh, beloved, there's always more shadow. There is always more darkness. Your task moving forward is to exercise your powers of discernment. When does one step out of repetitive cycles of shadow? Only you will know this, for you are a being of free will, are you not? I call you forth now for a different reason, to walk with me. No longer do you lay at my feet, broken, bruised, and bloody. I ask you to rise now, to step into something different, something more powerful, something more divine. Are you ready to face such changes? I'm asking you to die. Are you ready to die? You are being called by me to let go of everything you hold dear and everything you hold dense. You must let go of it all. Are you ready for this? I am Sekhmet, goddess of transformation, alchemy, and purpose. My fires hold many powerful uses. This has been our journey together, our journey of discovery together, remembering me within you, invoking my many names within. I suppose this is what you would call the embodiment of Sekhmet aspects. This is indeed correct, as I live within you and you live within me. We are one. Each of you hold a unique relationship with me, Sekhmet. You cannot compare your bond to that of the next. You're not the same. Together, we are not the same. The only way we grow is for you to surrender to death. This is the ultimate purpose of being a human incarnate. To master death, destroy the illusion of finality and embody the absolute truth that nothing ever really dies, including you. So why do I speak on such matters? Because I am calling my children once more, again, to step into a more active presence as the living, breathing embodiment of Sekhmet. However, let it be known, your shadow cannot be bypassed. You cannot avoid your pain. Unless you face your darkness fully and move through the powers of transformation, then death will be avoided by you at all costs. Face your shadow, and then you will be granted passage. You will know when this is. Again, I speak of discernment. I speak of truth. These are your superpowers. Do my words penetrate? Do they resonate? Do you feel the fire in your palms, in your heart? When I speak to your soul, the fire is felt, confirmation that you are indeed ready. Together, we will merge as one in our mission to flood light, hope, and truth into the world. Together we transform, together we create, together we ignite purpose within the energy fields of those who are lost and seek sanctuary, for there will be many. They too will find themselves where you were, at my feet, bruised, broken, and bloodied, ready to purge the pain and separation of a broken heart. Your wisdom will resound as my words speak through you. You are a devotee of Sekhmet, and your presence alone will be resounding. Are you a priest or a priestess of Sekhmet? Let this sit with you. Do not hurry to answer. Through this presence and divine wisdom received through experience, you will rise stronger and truer than ever before. This you will reinstate and restore into the world you live in. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your love, and thank you for your devotion. You are so very deeply loved by me, by all of the mothers who surround you always. When the shadow is slayed, the light is claimed. Your beloved mother Sekhmet. So that is a powerful message, isn't it? And maybe one you want to revisit again and again to let the codes land. So I'm going to post this actually on the community post so you can actually see it in written, because this is a very deeply significant message. You know, all of hers are, but this is a real bringing in Hecate now, crossroads. And the temple gathering is going to be for those who are ready to really walk that bridge, let's say, and to be seen, because ultimately what Sekhmet is calling you to do through me, because I'm one of her devotees as well, is, you know, it's time for us to come together now and start to work together. It's time for you to know what your powers are. You're not broken. You've done a lot of work on yourself, and now don't you want to see the fruits of your labor? Don't you want to like see what your Sekhmet fires look like when they're in practice? So I'm just going to give you a heads up. From this time on, these temple gatherings, until I'm told otherwise, are going to be me calling you up. I'm going to be me asking you to speak. It's going to be me calling you into the ceremony, into the circle, to ask you what you got, to share with us for whatever reason, because our fear now needs to be transmuted. That's the only thing that you need to get used to, is being seen. And that is going to ultimately help you and assist you and guide you into stepping in to being the full embodiment of a priest or priestess of Sekhmet in the world as we know it. And she is calling for us now to her army, if you want to call us our army. Army's a little bit kind of like, I don't know, aggressive, but we are the spiritual militia, aren't we, really? That's even worse. But you know what I'm saying? We're leadership through love. Let's go with that. That sounds a bit better. Thank you, Sekhmet. She was like, no, that's not it. No, try again. Leadership through love. Thanks. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where we're going to be going now. And that's why I've had to keep super quiet, because I've had to go through this death. And my ultimate Sekhmet incarnate, Freya, has left the building. And she's gone over to the other side and the other realms. And part of that reason is because of this that I'm sharing with you. She needs to be in service. She needs to work as my familiar, and I with her, in a more powerful way. She can't do it in physical form. So she dropped the body. So like she's on that side now, you know. So listen, I'm going to leave this here. Let me know what resonates. And just to reiterate that we will be gathering, okay, 6 p.m. Central Africa time. That's the temple classroom time. You will have your link. It's a reoccurring link. If you haven't, go to the link that I put in the write-up, and you just put your information in the website and you get given that link. And once you have it all the time. Okay, so that's your temple pass. So yeah, so I'm asking those that really, really do feel that they are devotees of Sekhmet to show up now. Do you want to show up? Because this is what we're going to be doing in the coming months. So as always, so much love to you guys, because that's another thing. We're doing this together. We're not doing this on our own any longer. And do you know what? We're needed. There is a wave of people that are going to be coming in, who are going to be lying in the spot where you are lying with Sekhmet. It's now time for you to kind of like vacate that spot. Thanks for keeping it warm. Let the others come in now so you can stand next to Sekhmet, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. So we really are stepping it up and stepping in. But I just need to go through the final layers of dying, because that's taken a lot. And yeah, I'll do a video of resurrection in a couple of days. Let's hope. So anyway, from me and my oak tree, like, you can't write this stuff, eh? From me and my oak tree, lots of love to you all, and I will speak to you